try to record. Okay, so I'm recording now, but we were going over ranks. So like I said, you can Google ranks. It's super easy. Like just put in Beachbody Coach ranks and it's all there. Or else we also did this rank advancement training. In the training section, training library, there's a ton in there. Just scroll all the way down. I think it was all the way at the bottom. Rank advancement training. That's what we're talking about. So, okay, back to the I'm gonna try to think like off the top of my head. I didn't do anything crazy for tonight. Like I didn't even write anything up. So number one, like I said, is posting like you are a Star Diamond coach, or taking that ownership and being the CEO of your own business. And a lot of times I didn't do that. And when I look back, like on, your phone, you have that, like the time thing on Facebook, and you look back and it's like, Krista can probably relate. She's smiling. So she's probably like, oh my gosh, like, why did I see that? You see that and you're like, oh. Like even just how we posted, like when we were new coaches, like the graphics, like, I don't know, like, like the lime green, or whatever, like with the like dotted background, like it just kind of gives you a headache.
I definitely have ones with me like sharing pictures of like the PiYo cover of like the DVD, like laying on my table, like can't wait to start. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I look back, I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I have one like that too. When I first got like my 3-day refresh kit, my PiYo, I laid all the PiYo DVDs out, so yeah, post like you're a Star Diamond coach. That's the biggest one. So make it look professional. Even go to some of these, look on Instagram, look on Facebook, Mandy Kai is a really big one now. Haley Christian, like Keith Callahan kept saying last night, or a couple nights ago, it wasn't last night, it was a couple nights ago. She is really big now, looking at some of these guys and how they post. I was actually looking at Haley's Instagram the other day and I was like, man, like, oh, she's just so like, I don't know, she's just so edgy. I love her. And okay, so that's the biggest thing. And then also back to rank again. Sorry, my brain, I'm having like a squirrel brain moment tonight. But when you hit 5-star diamond, that is really the ultimate goal. So like 5-star diamond, you want to hit that. That's huge. And like even Keith was talking to us like in our mastermind group, and he was saying like 5-star, to find 5 people, 5 lifers, as like Chalene Johnson would say, is the ultimate goal. And then you want to teach them and your coaches to find their 5. So basically finding your top 5, you guys. And it's not about the people, like Krista said, people come and go all the time in this business. I can't even tell you, when I first started, I've had so many different coaches, like Emeralds, who maybe hit Emerald and then they maybe, fell off the wagon. I've had so many. I've probably had 50 plus, literally. And nobody is in my downline right now. Like you guys weren't coaching last year. Allie wasn't there. Kayla wasn't there yet. Charity, you kind of were, but kind of not. Vanessa wasn't yet. Krista, you were, but you don't count because you've been a coach for a while. So, when you think about it, like my downline is totally different. So really it's just about finding those 5 people and having them be lifers, and then helping them find their 5 people. And that's what it's all about. Okay, so back to my top mistakes. So number 2 mistake would be not inviting right away, because you guys all know I kind of dabble back and forth, and I could have earned a free ticket to Summit if I would have hit Success Club. I hit Success Club 2 out of the 3 months that I needed to earn my free ticket, and I missed it. And then, some months I would hit Success Club 2, and then it would be 4, and then it would be 6, and it would be 8, and then it would be 2. And so I was all over the place, like for the first 6 months. That's because I wasn't inviting. And I was just allowing people. I thought inviting was posting. It's not, you guys. If you think that, like you're not you're not inviting. Like let's see, I'll just put it that way. You're not inviting. And so I thought I was inviting by just posting and being like, hey, I have a challenge group coming up, and Rose would always ask me like, are you inviting? And I would be like, yes, of course I'm inviting, I'm posting, And so, and I didn't really want to tell her the truth that I wasn't inviting. but your coach isn't stupid. And I'm not saying, like, I know, if you're putting in the work, I really do, and just probably like Vanessa, she's a teacher, Krista's a teacher. You guys know when your students actually study for a test, right? Like, you can tell, like, yeah, you're elementary teachers, but I'm sure you still have little tests that you can tell, like, oh, if your students are prepared for the day or not. And like, I can tell that too with you guys. I can tell, like, who's putting in the work. I can see who's adding coaches and who's not, or who has more volume this week and who doesn't, and it's not that a contest, but also as leaders, I truly believe that we all have a competitive side, right? Like, we should want to win, like, our team cut prize, we should want to get those jackets, or we should want to get the cutting board, who cares? It's just a cutting board, but still, I want it, And so be competitive and have that nature, but also be inviting. And that's something that I was not doing. I finally, when I did learn to invite, and that's when I, like, in November 2016 or 2015, sorry, is when I decided to really go all in. And since then, guess what? I've been hitting Success Club every single month. I think I've had close to 40 months in Success Club. That's a lot. And that's all because I made that decision to start inviting. And so it all starts with your mindset shift. Like I said, it's all about your mind and all about in your head about, who's stopping you from doing this. You're stopping yourself. And who's going to invite today? I can't invite for you. I can't do it for you. I sure wish I could, but I can't. And so actually I don't, but no. But no, it's such a great opportunity, you guys. And you have to, like I said, take ownership of that. So that's number 2. Number 3, I would say I would also kind of include this in the inviting, but I'm going to do a separate topic, is inviting to the coaching opportunity. Literally, I didn't invite to the coaching opportunity until I went to Summit for the very first time, because I was scared of what people would think of me, and that's horrible. I missed out on so many coaches, you guys. So many coaches. I saw their coming out post, and I would see that, and I'd be like, oh, crap. I literally talked to her last week about joining my challenge group, and now she's a coach with somebody else on somebody else's team. And the truth is if you don't invite them, someone else will. And I've learned that the hard way. And there's been many times where I say, like, oh, congratulations on being a coach. And they're like, yeah, you inspired me to become a coach. And I was like, great, like, but it's not on my team. And so, like I said, if you don't invite them, someone else will. And you need to just get that through your head and just invite them. If you've been scared to do it or scared to talk to them, do it. Literally, I was talking to, I don't know, she'll probably watch this call later, but Zadie Cook. I was talking to her for literally over a year, and she finally decided to sign up as a challenger, and now she wants to coach, and she's actually talking to a few people already that want to sign up. That's amazing. She literally signed up as a coach on February 1st. And she's like, she hasn't even done Beachbody before, but she works, you guys, she works at a gym. She works as a teacher at the college. I mean, her life is crazy. Sometimes she doesn't even have a lunch hour. And so I figure, like, if she can do this, so can I. And I also follow, like, a ton of other, like, I am really good friends with Darcy Fallon, or Fallon. I think is that how you say her name. And she's from Iowa, and she's a mom of 2. She just had a baby, and she's a nurse full-time, but she's also a coach. And I look at her life and I'm like, gosh, like, I don't have an excuse of not to want to invite today. I have time to invite, like, and just go do it. And that's the thing about this business, is you just have to make the time, and it's all about your mindset. Like I said, who's stopping you? It's only you who is. So that's number 3, is just inviting to the business, because I wasn't doing that either. And so just making that a priority, posting about the business. Like I said, doing a webinar for yourself. For the longest time, I was just doing webinars for myself, and that was without all of you guys helping or whatever. I would just do it, and maybe 2 people showed up, but still, that was a win in my book. I was like, yes, like 2 people. Last time it was 0. So, just start. You got to start somewhere, is what I'm saying. And even if it is small, like, who cares? You have to start somewhere. and be proud of that. Like I was messaging someone today that she had signed up with a challenge pack in November, and she was kind of saying like, oh, I didn't get my workouts in this weekend, but she was like, but I lost 5 pounds. And I was like, 5 pounds, that's awesome. Like, post that in the group. Like, you didn't get your workout done this weekend, you need to celebrate something. Like, and that's the other thing that I would definitely say is number 4, celebrate the small victories, even if they're tiny, like tiny, like even if losing 5 pounds, but you didn't work out this weekend, tiny, but, celebrate those $5 paychecks, or $10. My first paycheck was $12, you guys. Like, that buys like a McDonald's, burger and fries and a drink, I mean, really, like, celebrate the small stuff. And even today, I was like, man, like, Thursdays are just I'm so grateful because I've come such a long way. And today I just kind of took the day off. I did some invites though. I got like 35-ish invites done, got conversations done, followed up with people. But I didn't push nearly as hard as I normally would have today because I was just like, okay, like, my brain needs just a minute to catch up. So, I mean, be grateful and just find something to celebrate every single day in your business, whether that's, that you were able to get your workout done, that you were able to do one more transformer than you were yesterday, or just the small things that you can celebrate in your business, and celebrate it so everybody can see it. Like, when the scale goes down even a pound, like, celebrate that. Like, be like, that's a number that I haven't seen in a long time. And I know Krista's really good about that too, is talking about kind of the small little victories that she sees, even in our group. She's great about that. And so, just post about that, make that known. Or even if you have a coach that's, I don't know, doing something, or a challenger that's doing something, shout them out. Recognition is something that I didn't get a lot of in the corporate world. And I think that's pretty common. And it's nice to have that pat on the back when you're doing something good, or when you're rank advancing, or when, you've added a new coach or whatever. Let's see, number 5. I don't know, Krista, do you have anything?
I would say being consistent.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
That's my biggest thing, because I feel like I come in like bursts where I'm like all in, and then I'm like, things get crazy at work, or things happen at home, or whatever, and you're just kind of like, I'll do it tonight, or I'll double up tomorrow, and then it's like, next thing you know, like a week goes by and you haven't invited, or you haven't checked in on your challengers, and then you're like, oh yeah, and like, you don't hit Success Club, and then you're like, you're right, like, I didn't put in the work, I don't deserve Success Club. But then, you get back into it, and you're seeing the success, and you're seeing, your challengers grow and your team grow, and then things kind of fizzle out again. So with me, that's my biggest issue, is just being all in all the time.
For sure. And that was a huge one of mine too, because there was days that you didn't feel like showing up, so you didn't show up. And I'm not saying that, like, when you celebrate, like today, like, I was like, I didn't, do as much or push as hard as I normally would have, but I still showed up, you guys. I told you, I said I got like 35 invites done. I got my, conversations. I still showed the F up, you know what I mean? Like, I still was there, and I still did something. And so no matter what, and there's times that I did not want to either. Like, yeah, I'm home all the time. Like, I don't have an excuse not to show up now. But when I was working, full time, and, there were days when it sucked, or like my boss was ugly, or my commute was ugly. Like today, like we have like horrible weather right now in North Dakota. And, and you're like, oh man, like, dang it, I just want to sit on the couch right now and watch Wheel of Fortune or whatever, in the evening. And it's so easy to do. It's so easy, but you have to just do it. You have to know like your why and see the greater picture in all of this. And it especially helps, like Krista said, like, once you have, people that are looking to you, and people that like need you, quote unquote, and to have something, even like Allie and Charity, you guys are moms, so you guys know that. Like, just think, if you didn't want to cook dinner one night, what would happen? Like, you have to cook dinner, because your kids would, throw a fit and they'd be hungry and they'd cry, and you have to cook dinner. There's just some things that you have to do. Or as a mom, like, you could just say, okay, well, I don't want to change my baby's diaper, I don't feel like it. Like, what would happen? It would probably explode and it would be horrible. And the baby would be crying and probably like messy all over, and by the time that you would change their diaper, it would probably be even worse. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's kind of what happens in the coaching business too, is if you just decide, okay, I can take this week off, and then it just kind of explodes in your face. Then when you open that diaper and you're like, oh crap, like I took a little bit too much time off. And so that's what's showing up consistently, is in, like Krista said, like, that's a huge one too, the mistakes that you made as a new coach. Like, that's definitely one on the list for sure. I'm glad she mentioned that. Is there anything else, Krista, that you could say that was on your list?
I don't think so. I think you hit all the big ones, especially like starting out and not being professional and just kind of going for it. But I think there's also some goodness in that too, because number one, we grow from it, and number two, I watched the recording of Keith's call on my way home today, and he talks about, like, when you first start out, all that excitement that you have to just kind of put it out there, regardless of really like what it looks like or what it sounds like, because people need to know that you're excited. So I feel like, even though I look back now and I'm like shaking my head and like wondering what the heck I was doing, I also attracted so many people when I first started because I was so excited about it. And even though not all of them signed, and some of them eventually did, like maybe a year or more later, or maybe they never did, but they know that I have this passion, and that if they ever want to join me, that they can.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm so glad you said that too, because that's so true. And like, getting back, and like Krista and I have been coaches for a while, and it's just getting back to that excitement. And sometimes it's hard, especially for us, like when we've been coaches for so long. So like, you got to light that fire, you got to light your own fire again. But that's okay. Like, there's a lot of things that make us excited, like new programs, new coaches, things like that too. So it's pretty easy to get back on fire again. So, all right, guys, we have less than a minute. Does anybody have any really fast questions? All right. If not, thanks for hopping on tonight. And I hope this kind of helped and just kind of like motivated you to, like, I don't know, own it. All right, guys, thanks for hopping on, and have a great Friday tomorrow. See ya.